Welcome to the Prophecy Club. I have Daniel Brigman on the phone with me today. For the last 4 years, he has been providing emergency food for people. And today we're going to talk about emergency food. Daniel, welcome to the Prophecy Club.
Oh, awesome. This is my pleasure. Thank you very much, Stan, for having me.
All right, now, folks, I just made a brand new DVD just this past weekend, and a lot of very good comments on it. Recommend you get it. But in that DVD, I essentially show you many different reasons why we are heading into trouble this fall. Now, I can't say that's a thus saith the Lord from me, but as an interpreter of 2 cows and 13 other people, if you get the DVD, you know what I'm talking about, then the trouble is coming. So in that we really know it's coming, we're trying to get prepared. Mina Grebin was told specifically to tell the people to get at least 1 year's worth of food and water. So if martial law was declared and they said you cannot leave your home for 1 year, would you be able to survive? That's where we want to get you to. So tell them about Prophecy Club Food.
Well, Stan, Prophecy Club Food is a website that we've created. We've worked together so that we can provide long-term storable food, water filters, and water to people to prepare for exactly kind of thing you're talking about, whether they want to freeze their food prices and fight inflation, whether they want to prepare for some kind of unrest, martial law. We have high quality products and food that they can do that with.
Daniel, tell us how you got in the emergency food business.
A few years ago, I was wanting to prepare. I felt like, it's a good idea to have some food on hand for our family. I was a little uncertain about what's going on in the world. We had some things like rice and beans, and we wanted some more meals that we're used to eating. And so we saw what was out there. We tried just about everything on the market. And frankly, Stan, we were a little disappointed. We were real disappointed with some of them. The food didn't taste all that good, and it was really full of chemicals, something we would not eat today. If we won't eat it today, then why were we going to store it? And so through a chain of events, a series of fortunate situations, we finally came to the conclusion, hey, we can do better than this. And so that's what we did. And so Numanna started with this idea of making a better, higher quality, easier to make, storable food that you can be happier with. So that's really how we totally got into the business.
I used to be a sales course instructor, and one of the things we used to teach our salespeople is a very important premise, and this was the bitterness of poor quality lasts longer than the sweetness of good price. The day that you buy the emergency food, and if you get a great price, you may be very happy. But the day that you eat it in fear with chaos, looting and burning going on outside, you might not be so happy. So and as a matter of fact, as you recall, when we talked about possibly setting up with you guys, I said, like the old saying says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I said, I want food and I want proportions set up so that I am going to be happy when I eat it. In other words, this is food that my wife and I are going to be eating, and we're probably going to be eating it this fall. And so I don't want to be thinking about the wonderful price when I'm eating this food. I want to be thinking the fact that, oh, I'm so glad I have it. Now, to that degree, Leslie and I cooked some food this morning. We cooked 3 different flavors to try this out. We tried cheesy potato soup, enchilada rice and bean, and chili bean. So here's my analysis of it. What I'm looking for is something that's easy to fix, and yet it's still going to be good. But then when I actually eat it, I can actually eat it, and it's not got too much salt in it or too much chemicals and things where I actually can't eat it. Well, here's what I thought. The cheesy potato soup tasted like cheesy potato soup. And, of course, you can make it to your whatever consistency you want. And I asked Leslie, I said, well, what do you think? She says, well, it tastes kind of like cheesy potato soup. She says, I think I like it. And I said, well, to me, it tastes a little bland. But then if you just take potatoes and cook them and mash them up, they taste a little bland. So actually, it really tastes the way you want it to taste when it comes out of the package. Then, if you want to add more salt or pepper or gravy or whatever to make it to taste to your liking, then that's good. In other words, we don't want it to already have all of the seasonings in it. What happens if people don't like butter on their potatoes? What happens if they don't like or they're allergic to pepper or something like that? So The cheesy potato soup gets, I'm going to say a number 9. The enchilada rice and bean, I'm going to say a 9.5. We like that a little bit better. But my favorite was the chili bean, surprisingly. I said, if I hadn't already eaten my cereal this morning, I would have just had this. She says, not a problem. I will put it in the refrigerator and you'll have it for lunch. So I know what I'm going to be having for lunch today. But answer is, I asked myself the serious question. In a time of trouble, could I eat this stuff 3 meals a day, day in and day out? And I think the answer is yes.
You hit on a couple of good points, and I'm very glad to get your feedback. We didn't want to oversalt it. We didn't want to season it. We want to leave it at everybody's taste is very subjective. So you hit on a very good point there. That we did that on purpose, and you hit on another good point. The demand of food that we're talking about, these are meals that you wouldn't mind eating tomorrow, much less in an emergency 6 months from now, 3 months, 6 years from now, 10 years from now. Is this food that you would enjoy, that helps you in a time of duress and a time of stress? You need food that's going to help you emotionally, physically, be nutrient to your body, that's not going to depress you, be full of chemicals, and you'd be depressed about what you're eating. That's the last thing you need. Studies all over the world, all over, say that is true. There's an emotion, believe it or not, there's an emotional component to eating food as well as a physical component. And you exactly hit on that and how important that is.
Well, when I go to open this food, I want it to still be good, even if it's, say, 10 years from now. Now, about a year and a half ago, you listeners out there recall when we all got to praying and we believe that we stopped the series of suitcase nukes going off all across America. And one of the cities on that list was Dallas, and I live in the Dallas area. So I told you guys, I went down, I spent about $840 on emergency food. Now, it wasn't Numanna food, unfortunately. I went down to the Sam's Club. I'll just tell you where I bought it. And I bought things like peanut butter and cut beans, asparagus, and tuna fish. Well, now, a year and a half later, I go out there and I've been trying to eat this all up. And just last night, I pulled some tuna fish out, and this is one of those easy open cans on the top of it. And guess what I saw? I saw rust starting to come to the top all around where the easy opens. In other words, not all of this stuff, the typical kind of food you buy in the store, they say is designed to last less than 2 years. I've already thrown away some of the asparagus and some of the other things. I had to just throw them away. And, of course, we had the inevitable happen. We had a little nest of rats decide to move in right where my food was. And they were sharing some of my food. That's another thing. It has to be in a container they can't get into. So all of these things are important. Now, my point in saying that is the Sam's Club, the store-bought food, is not long-term emergency food. It is not designed or packaged to last more than, really, 2 years. I would even say more like 6 months to a year, whereas yours is designed to last for over 20 years, right?
Right. Well, 25 plus years. If you store it well, it's maybe even more.
And it comes in a plastic bucket so that the mice can't eat into it. And it's kept fresh.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point. Let's talk about how it comes. So when you order your Prophecy Club food buckets, you're going to get square buckets. They have a handle on them. They have a hinged lid. Very convenient. And they have a ridge on the bottom where they stack. So these buckets can easily stack in your basement, in a closet, whatever. You can even take the individual packages, the individual meals out of the buckets, put them in a pantry or wherever. You can move them all around however you wanted to. The meals themselves, the longevity is in the individual package. So it's not like a can where you got 100 servings in a can, and then once you open it, now the clock is ticking on using it. You can take an individual bag. You got 6 servings or so in the bag. You can make your chili. You can have it. You got extra left over. You can have it for lunch like Stan's going to have today. If you can boil water, you can fix this food. And there are a few recipes that you don't have to boil at all, like granola or something like that. You can eat right out of the bag if you're in a situation like that. So for the most part, you can boil water. You can fix the demand food and have a meal that you would be happy eating today or in the middle of an emergency. That's very important. So as you make decisions for your family and what you want, you need to decide, you need to think about longevity. How am I going to store this? How am I going to utilize this and for long term? All these things are very important, what Stan's telling you right now.
I'm just reading here from what Patty Travato was told in a dream, and this is called Russian Overtakers. And part of what she says is real important. She says, I saw all people were required to share what food they had. Food was the primary problem everyone had on their minds, and the government did not want anyone to have any food left in their house. Any person not sharing food that they had stored up would have it all taken away or go to jail. Now, you got two ways you can look at that. One is you can say, well, I'm going to believe God, and I'm going to believe just like the 2 loaves and 5 fishes that God will multiply it, and at what time it stops multiplying, then I guess we'll figure out something else to do or just die. Or with this new manna food that comes in these packets that I'm going to say each packet is about the size of your forearm from your elbow up to your wrist. And you can take those packets, good grief, you can stick those in walls, doors someplace, in your attic. You can store those in all kinds of places. They would be very easy to hide. That's the point. So it depends on which attitude you want to take there. But new manna, once again, could be very easy food to store and hide.
Yes, no question. Especially if you're talking financial problems, you're talking about martial law, food is essential. One of the big problems we have in America, everybody can feel it. I mean, my wife, every time we go to the grocery store, we just spent $100. What did we get? Everybody knows that the price of food is going up. Not only are you making an emergency decision, you're making a financial decision, because if I store good food, quality food that I like, that my family likes, it's easy for me to deal with. I'm late for baseball practice. We can make a quick meal. It's convenient for our life. Now I've just made a good financial decision. I froze my food price. As food costs go up, I bought food at this lesser price here back in 2015. And so the quality and what you're doing, New Manna is very excited to be involved with Prophecy Club Food here and to provide your people with this type of food. I really believe this is a fantastic option for them.
Okay, what's the difference between what you have and an MRE, meal ready to eat?
That's a government thing that's been around for, 50 years. They had C rations, those kind of things. They're come in a plastic sleeve. You open them up and it's ready to eat right there. And they'll have different recipes. They do have some that you can heat now. The drawback is, even in the military, when they're out on maneuvers and they're eating MREs for 2-3 weeks at a time, the military will stop them and they'll put them back to base, and so they can eat regular food. They know if they continue on eating meals ready to eat for a long period of time, their body starts to shut down. It can't handle it. It can't process all that chemically riddled food.
Okay, so an MRE, the advantage is you can open it and eat it right there, right out of the pack. The disadvantage is you really shouldn't be eating it for more than a couple of weeks at a time, because it is choking your whole system full of all kinds of chemicals to preserve the MRE, and it's preserved, well, I should say to kill the bugs in the MRE, and you're eating those same chemicals. Those chemicals are going to, or could, kill you.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the difference between what you have and other dehydrated, freeze-dried food, because that's kind of what yours is.
Yes, this is a easy to fix, in a package, in a bucket type meal, boil water. There's several companies out there that do that. New Manna has made a name and has been an industry leader in the selectiveness and the quality of the ingredients. The reason that cheesy potato soup tasted like potatoes, like you said, it tasted like cheesy potato soup because that's what it is. We're very selective. We don't use chemical preservatives. We use no aspartame, no high fructose corn syrup, no soy, no autolyzed yeast extract. We use no genetically modified ingredients. Food is a much higher quality. The packaging is packaged superior to keep its longevity and its freshness. There is a difference in the type of food. You can buy a Yugo or you can buy a Cadillac. It's very competitively priced, but it's a Cadillac.
I've got a tough question for you here, Daniel. Do you eat this food?
Oh, absolutely. We eat it periodically, especially our children ask for it. It's very, like mac and cheese or some of the other granola, the soups. We have some small children. They ask for it.
Okay.
We'll say, what do you want for lunch? Oh, I want mac and cheese. Sure, great.
I think it is in our mind that if it is convenient to open and cook quickly, then it must not be good for us. In other words, well, kind of like macaroni and cheese, I don't think that I would consider macaroni and cheese as something that is a good food staple. But what you're saying is your food, even though you can open it and eat it quickly by simply adding boiling water, stirring it around a little bit, it's actually good, and it's good for you. It's healthy.
We feel very confident. We are the leader in the industry for the quality and the health. I know what we've gone and the lengths we've gone to make this product. I feel very confident there's no other company that's doing what we're doing.
Okay, let's talk about Plan A. Now, I like the idea of one person, 1 year, but tell us what they get for the Plan A that you have set up right now.
Plan A is almost 1,600 servings of these type of meals. Now, there's a combination of you have the meals like we talked about, just like Brother Stan talked about, the cheesy potato soups, the pasta primaveras, the enchilada beans and rice, the sweet habanero chilies. You have those kind of meals in these buckets. We also, in the Plan A and Plan B, we put something called a Defender Pack. Now, a Defender Pack includes some organic grains and organic superfoods that you can have to increase your nutrition. Well, you know darn well in a survival, emergency, stressful situation, your body needs more nutrition, not less nutrition. So things like organic chia seeds, organic quinoa, these things are easy to use, easy to cook, and they mix very well. You have a small child, you can easily mix chia seeds or quinoa into their chili. They won't even know they're eating healthy, and they'll be mixed in, and their nutrition level, protein level, and overall B vitamin, et cetera, level just dramatically increased. And so in the Plan A, you're getting 1,600 servings, which if you did 3 servings a day, that's over 500 days worth of servings. So we give you a little leeway there if you're going to eat more.
I think it's real interesting that you mentioned chia seeds, because I've just discovered the secret of chia seeds. Then somebody gave me a package of them. And so they said, well, you need to like let them set for 30 minutes to kind of hydrate, make them soft. And then I put them into my blender and I blend it up with some other potion stuff. And I'll take that like about an hour before I go play racquetball. And I have noticed a dramatic increase in my stamina when I put chia seeds. It's almost like they become like the hero of all of the things that I take. And so, wow, they are really good. I mean, not good tasting, but wow, it's like, wow. I mean, I can just keep going playing racquetball once I take chia seeds. In an emergency, you need that, you know?
Well, I'll give you a great story. Chia seeds, they come primarily originated from the Mexico area. That's where they're grown. The story is that Aztec warriors, when they went into battle, the only foodstuffs that they carried was a small sack of chia seeds on their side, and that was to last them through the day, and if there was an emergency or they get stuck. All they took were chia seeds. So they knew if they had chia, they would eat straight chia seeds to give them the energy and the stamina to last in battle all through the day.
Man, I believe it. I mean, these stupid little seeds. It's like, I mean, somebody gave me this little package. I thought, what is this? Just try them a few times, and all of a sudden I thought, man, that's got to be the chia. And I started eliminating other things that I was putting into my drink and stuff, you know, powder this, powder that, you know. And finally, it came down to the only thing that is making me feel so wonderful is chia seeds. So I am now on board and a fan for the last couple of months now of chia seeds. Matter of fact, I had to do a 2.5-hour talk yesterday making this DVD at church. Well, guess what I took before I got up there to stand and talk for 2.5 hours? Chia seeds.
Well, we did a lot of research when we decided to put these packs together and what we add to them. We did the research. We had to add chia seeds. I'm not trying to oversell this here, but when your family and your children and you're in these stressful type situations, Brother Stan's telling you the truth. You want these chia seeds, and that's another difference between Numanna. That Defender Pack, there's nothing on the market that even compares to that for the quality, for the level of nutrition, the level of long-term. We just didn't take chia seeds and put in a bag. I mean, there's things that we do so that we make sure it stores long-term, so it's there when you need it. When you need this food, when you need this nutrition, when you need to have a good meal, we've taken extra care so the Numanna will be there for you when you need it.
Okay, brothers and sisters, here's the scoop. Plan A, one person, 1 year. You can also get Plan B, one person, 6 months. Plan C is one person, 3 months. And they also have a grab-and-go bucket. And you can get all of the information, all of the prices, everything by calling 800-924-7110. Write it down. Type it into your cell phone, 800-924-7110. 800-924-7110. Or go to prophecyclubfood.com. Probably it's preference to go to prophecyclubfood.com. Frankly, you can look and you can see all of the different things that you want to do, and probably placing your order these days is a little easier online. prophecyclubfood.com. prophecyclubfood.com. prophecyclubfood.com.
Start on the website, and then you can kind of look at the different packages, and then you can learn. And then if you have questions, then look, feel free to call the number, and we'll have people that can help you that way. So you mentioned price. Our meals are these gourmet type storable food meals that Brother Stan mentioned. They're not full of drink mix or cheap things like that to add calorie count, to get sugary. This is the good stuff. If you're trying to compare and make decisions, this is a very high level and a good. We're very, very pleased this partnership with Prophecy Club and Prophecy Club Food. There's discounted packages so that just for Prophecy Club members, these special packages, they can go on there and get these. And we also have water purifiers and some water and things like that to look at. So if you have any questions, if you're unsure, give us a call and we can walk you through it and give you some things to think about so you can make choices for your family.
One of the things that I was disappointed in when I discovered what one company was sending out for dehydrated food, and that was things like grape juice or lemonade. I mean, you got a whole, like a 1 gallon can, and it's filled with nothing but lemonade powder. Like, what is that? Okay, look, I can't live on lemonade powder, and it was a lot of that sort of thing. Man, I want food. I mean, if I'm in some hole someplace, I don't want lemonade powder. Okay, I mean, give me, or like Gatorade powder. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, give me food. And that's what's in this offer. 800-924-7110. But start at prophecyclubfood.com if you can. prophecyclubfood.com. Plan A, 1 person 1 year. Plan B, 1 person 6 months. Plan C, 1 person 3 months. Or grab and go with 76 servings. 800-924-7110. Or prophecyclubfood.com. Daniel, I want to have you back on again tomorrow. Okay?
Awesome. Fantastic. It's been my pleasure, Brother Stan.
I want to jump to another topic. This past Sunday, I made a brand new DVD called 2014 to 2021. And the reason I call it that is because I believe that this is a picture of what is going to come to America and to the world, but mostly to America, in the years 2014 to 2021. Now, before I even started, I gave lots of disclaimers, and that is none of this, save one prophecy from me, one prophecy from Leslie, but none of the rest of it comes from us. This is all from the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. In other words, every one of the points that I'm about to read to you, I have in this new DVD that you can call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com and order right now for a gift of $30. Now listen to what I'm about to say. In 22 years of being in the Prophecy Club, I think that this is probably, if it's not the most, it's definitely one of the 2 most important DVDs we've ever put out. Listen carefully to the topics. What I tell you is that September 25th, 2014 started the last 7 years of plenty. In other words, we're in the last of the good days, and those days are about to get really hard. Also, I tell you what Lindsey Williams was told, September 25th, 2015, the Pope will announce that they have formed a new world order, a world government from the United Nations, and then he'll go to the U.S. Congress. He will hold up a piece of paper saying all of the world leaders have agreed to form a world government. Guys, this is big, and I'm telling you with all of my heart, get this DVD. If you've ever believed anything I've told you, get this DVD. This is rock solid information. Also, I'm going to tell you why I believe the 7-year tribulation is from the years 2022 to 2028. Now, that's not me saying that, but I believe based upon, again, get the DVD, I'll explain to you why. I also talk about the global currency reset and what it is and why it is the event that starts all of this trouble that is just about to hit this fall. I also talk about how welfare checks are going to stop. And that starts protests. When they don't get the welfare checks coming after the protests, then they begin to burn the cities. Obama will then declare martial law. He'll stay in office for up to 5 years. He'll suspend the Constitution and all of our rights. You will no longer have a right to remain silent, a right to an attorney, a right to be charged or released within 48 hours. We will have in America people disappearing in the night, and we will see those FEMA barbed wire prison camps begin to fill up. You know, the ones that don't exist, okay? Then the local militias will form. They will start firing their weapons at the Obama men. I call them Obama men because we don't know, are they military or what? But there's going to be some people out there that are having curfews and checkpoints and arresting people without any due process. Then this will start the internal revolution that started by the communists that Dmitry Duduman was told about. Some of the people start fighting against the government. Then, after the guns have been confiscated, Russia attacks and defeats America in one day, and then the Christian martyrdom begins. It's all in this DVD called 2014 to 2021, 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. Gift of $30, and it's well worth it. If I charged what it's worth, I'd probably charge anywhere from $200 to $500. I'm telling you, get this DVD, 785-266-1112, prophecyclub.com. Title is 2014 to 2021. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless.
Help the Prophecy Club to continue and overcome evil with the truth. Help us take the warning to America. Engage in the battle to win lost souls to Christ by supporting this ministry today.
Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. It's time for our summer blowout. You can get 20 DVDs for a gift of $160. That's only $8 each. 10 for a gift of $100. That's $10 each. 7 for a gift of $120. That's $17 each. 4 DVDs for a gift of $85. That's $21 each. Or 2 DVDs for a gift of $50. $25 each. But you got to call 785-266-1112. That's 785-266-1112. And the offer ends soon. Come and go with the Prophecy Club to Israel. November 5 to 15, Leslie and I will take you on a biblical archaeology and a Bible prophecy tour. A tour like none other. What makes our tour different than the other tours? Well, we're going to take you to the traditional sites the other tours go on, but we're going beyond. We're going to show you the places and give you information other tours can't. In 1991, Leslie and I went on a tour with Ron Wyatt. He showed us archaeological secrets in Israel we're going to show to you, such as the iron spike that sealed the tomb of Jesus, proving Gordon's Calvary really is the tomb of Jesus. And you're going to pick up brimstone from the city of Gomorrah. You'll gather tar drips from the slime pits of Sodom. You'll visit the more likely birthplace of Jesus, not the one the tour buses stop at. In a special escort, you'll get to go behind the gates at the Garden of Gethsemane and pray. And if the drilling permit has been granted, we'll also go pray over the future drill sites for prophetic oil. Yes, you'll see many of the traditional sites, but this tour goes way beyond. Call 310-402-4042. That's 310-402-4042 for more information. Seating is limited. 310-402-4042. Legally, we can't guarantee this trouble will come this year, but of course, having emergency supplies is a good idea. Mina Grebin says she was told to tell everyone to have at least 1 year's food and supplies, including water, and you must have all preparations done by the end of the 2015 summer. She says buy food and supplies. We offer Plan A, 3 meals a day, 1 person, 1 year. Plan B, 1 person, 6 months. Plan C, 1 person, 3 months, or a grab-and-go bucket with 72 meals. Call 800-924-7110 or go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com.